While there are certainly a great deal of well-known North American monsters like Bigfoot or the Mothman, I would like to dedicate today's video to some of the more obscure members of the continent's pantheon, such as the Dunga Van Hooter, an unsafe blend of alligator and ankylosaur with the biggest nose this side of the Mississippi. So big in fact, it doesn't even have a mouth. It's known for its preferred diet of drunk lumberjacks, which they will happily club into a fine paste. A paste so fine that it actually becomes gaseous, and the monster can just suck it up with its stupidly big nose. Yikes. Moving on to something a little less visceral, let's talk about monster archetypes, creatures that can be found in one form or another all over the planet. Like vampires, ghosts, or dragons, and while I can definitely understand why so many people would dream up a giant flying snake monster, some of these archetypes are a little more specific. Take the monster that cannot lie down, for example, a subcategory that includes such gems as the Hugag and the stiff-legged bear, the latter of which being an unusually large bear with an even more unusually large head. They were often described as having a mouthful of pointed teeth and sometimes even tusks, alongside, of course, stiff legs that give them an awkward walking gait. But despite this goofy mode of transportation, the stiff-legged bear is mostly remembered for its nasty habit of easily devouring helpless humans, hence its secondary name, the Big Man-Eater. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty spot on. But what about that other stiff-legged beauty? Well, the Hugag is an enormous moose found in the northern United States and southern Canada. And I do mean enormous. Here's a banana for comparison. Poor guy has a bald, lumpy head and a prehensile lip that it uses to eat leaves. And since the Hugag is incapable of lying down, it's forced to catch Z's by leaning its body weight against its surroundings. A fact that Hugag hunters are more than willing to take advantage of by partially sawing through countless trees. That way, when a Hugag inevitably leans on one, it falls and cannot get up. Interestingly, there's an actual report for the last successful Hugag hunt. Apparently, at some point in the early 1900s, a guy called Mike Flynn found a baby Hugag trapped in a puddle of mud, and proceeded to club it to death. Yikes. And I gotta say, Mike Flynn, if you're watching this, making up a story about killing a mythical beast becomes much less exciting when the beast in question is a helpless baby. Anyway, the Goofus bird, alongside being the proud owner of my favorite name, is a curious fellow with backward wings, silver scales, and a penchant for building upside-down nests. I have to imagine this thing was thought up as a thinly veiled metaphor for somebody, with descriptors like distinctly unintelligent and its aforementioned name, making it ripe for insulting comparison. Try calling somebody a Goofus bird in your next argument. Let me know how it goes. While most cultures have spirits that float through walls or anteaters that spit lightning or whatever, most North American monsters have physical adaptations that are really weird but are still technically possible. Take the Roperite, for example, a little bird guy whose nose takes the form of a long, leathery rope, complete with its very own lasso, which it uses to ensnare prey. Beyond that one fact, however, there is heated debate surrounding the intricacies of this thing's biology. Depending on who you ask, they either lay eggs, give live birth, or are the reincarnated ghosts of Spanish ranchers. One thing's for sure, though, they're blindingly quick and a lot bigger than you probably thought they were. If you're anything like me, you probably took one look at this little guy and assumed they were roughly Roadrunner sized, but no, they're about as tall as a horse. In a somewhat similar vein, we have the Tripodero, a carnivorous lizard who's just living that Cali lifestyle. And by that, I of course mean lobbing lumps of clay at unsuspecting wildlife. They have telescopic legs that allow them to alter their height at will, usually choosing to stand high above their underbrushed homes, where they can easily spot their soon-to-be dinner. At which point, they will lob the aforementioned lump of clay, which is kept nice and safe in the pouch of their cheek. Another good one is the hoop snake, which is basically a regular snake that pursues its prey by turning into a wheel and rolling down hills at high speed. You know, just regular snake stuff. And for some reason, it doesn't have venom-infused teeth, and instead has a venom-infused tail. Couldn't tell you why. Oh, also my sources on this claimed that a hoop snake's venom was so potent that even a Hodag would swell up and die once inflicted. But the Hodag is just another mythical creature, so how am I supposed to know how resilient to venom this thing is? Anyway, I would like to mention that this video would not have been possible without Timestorm from my Discord server. He did a lot of the early research for this video and supplied me with a few of my sources. Also, for the last few uploads, I've been hiding flourish pictures of my illustrations. If you don't know what a flourish is, it's this thing, a flower horsefish. And my last video was the first time I actually mentioned them in video, so I wanted to make sure people had ample opportunity to notice them. That said, I actually hid 3 different flourishes last time. Jelly Crab was the first to find any of them, and the Chimera Protocol was the first to find all 3. But an honorable mention definitely has to go to Dmitry Romeyev, who went back to find all the flourishes in the previous videos, including a couple that I had completely forgotten about. So if you'd like to be mentioned at the end of next video, then keep your eyes open and either comment about them or let me know on the Discord server. Link in the description. And until next time, don't die. See you later.
I just hit my funny bone on the chair. My arm hurts now. I want to swear. Hair. Bear. Claire de dare. Fair.